What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4, bringing another episode of the 2016 projected Madden overall video. Today we're looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars. As per usual, once this video hits 30 likes, I'll upload a new video soonish. If it hits 50 likes, I'll upload it immediately. So without further ado, looking at the top 5 players on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking at number 1, obviously Sen'Derrick Marks, unbelievable defensive tackle, really coming out of nowhere. I think he was on Tennessee or somewhere like that and didn't really make a mark, but now in Gus Bradley's defense, absolute animal, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. We gave him an 88. Then they had Bryan Anger, who I believe they'd used with like a second or third round pick a couple years ago on. It's paying dividends, I guess, for as good as a second round pick punter. I think he was second round, but 88 overall, usually one of the highest average yards per kick. Then we got Posluszny, when healthy. I think he had a really bad injury last year, but when healthy, he's guaranteed to get you 150 tackles, a sure tackler. Then you got Josh Scobie, definitely an above-average kicker in this league. And then you got Julius Thomas coming over from the Denver Broncos. You're going to really get to see this year if he was more of a product of Peyton Manning, which he probably was a little bit, but really a talented tight end. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can build a nice rapport with Blake Bortles there. Let's move my mic a little bit closer here. Alright, so looking at the individual position breakdown, we gave Blake Bortles a 77 overall. I'm a huge fan of Blake Bortles. I still am confident in saying, with my predictions last season, that Derek Carr was going to be the best quarterback from that class. It's looking like I'm right, but I still really like Blake Bortles, so we gave him a 77 overall. Maybe a little high. I don't know what you guys think. Last year, just under 3,000 passing yards in 13 games started, 11 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. But you also have to take into account that he is playing with the Jags, and there's not a whole lot of talent there around him yet. Lots of good young guys that hopefully they can build and grow together, but as it currently stands, not a whole lot of talent there yet. But I like the way he played. He plays very, very hard. He's a smart player. I expect a nice sophomore season from him. So that's why we gave him a 77. Then for the running back position, there's no true running back here. We gave Denard Robinson a 75 just because he had 700 total yards last year, as well as 4 touchdowns, but not a lot of production in the backfield. Really disappointed to see my boy Toby Gurr out, who was an absolute beast at Stanford. Still can't believe he didn't get the Heisman Trophy his senior year. They gave it to Mark Ingram. Don't even get me started on that. That's one of my fucking biggest pet peeves in history of college sports, was when Toby Gurr got fucking whored out of a Heisman. But he did shit all last year. They got Bernard Pierce coming over from the Baltimore Ravens. You never know with him, he might be able to get some production. But then a lot of big things right now coming out of TJ Yeldon out of Alabama. I thought, it's a solid pick. There's some other running backs there I might have preferred more, but I have to admit that he is still a beast. And I wouldn't be surprised to see TJ Yeldon end up being the starter there. So potential fantasy football sleeper. It's only a matter of time, so I'll have to start making my fantasy football videos. But I don't know. Who do you guys think in the comment section below who's going to be the starter at the running back position here in Jacksonville? I think it's probably going to be Yeldon, a combination of Yeldon and Pierce. But what do you guys think? Then a fullback, Clay Harbor, former Philadelphia Eagle, was a tight end, 67. Now look at the wide receivers. It's going to be life without Cecil Shorts, who's been their lone one big talent wide receiver. Now we're looking at Justin Blackmon. If he could finally get his fucking life back on track, he has all the potential to be a number 1 in this league. I think last year he was all suspended all last season, but the year before that he only played like 6 games and had like almost 120 yards a game average on a Jacksonville Jaguars passing attack with Chad Henne. So if he can get his life back together and gets reinstated, can start performing on the field, he has all the potential. It's kind of in the same level as Darrell Washington or Josh Gordon. Had to give him a pretty high overall because what you've seen, but they got to stay on the fucking field. Looking at that, you got Allen Hurns. We gave him a 75. Really came out of nowhere last year. The rookie now he's going to be a sophomore, from the University of Miami. Last year, 51 receptions, 677 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Absolute beast. Then you also got Marquise Lee. We gave him a 74. Last year, 422 yards, 1 touchdown. Other than that, I don't know. That's a nice young core, especially if Blackmon can get integrated in that offense there. Looking at tight end, obviously you got Julius Thomas coming over. It's been a perennial double-digit touchdown guy with Peyton Manning throwing the ball. They paid a lot of money to get him in free agency. So it's going to be interesting to see. But like I said, if you have a good young rookie quarterback, or a really young quarterback now in Blake Bortles, you need to get that safety net of a tight end. Obviously, Mercedes Lewis is getting a little bit older, but that is 2 fantastic tight ends. That's as good as 2 tight ends you can have on a team right now, and that's all you need for a fucking quarterback here. Give him some safety nets on either side if you run some 2 tight end sets. Hopefully, I think there's going to be a significant increase in Blake Bortles' production here next year. Look at the offensive line. Luke Joeckel, 76, has not lived up to his expectations so far. I wouldn't say he's been a bust, but I don't know if I think he had injury issues last year. Don't quote me on that, but definitely is nowhere near the likes of Zach Martins and Joel Batonios of the world, but still a beast. Left guard, they got ZANE BEADLES, former Denver Bronco, 80. Center, STEFEN WISNIEWSKI, was a late free agency signing. It's been very, very solid in Oakland. Excellent pickup here, 86. Right guard, Brandon LINDER. Who the fuck is this guy? I have no idea why he's rated. I might have to actually adjust that. But you got AJ Cann, who's one of my... Who the fuck is that? Brandon LINDER. Was he really that good? I don't know. This is like I'm not sure. This is so professional. But I will talk about AJ Cann. Was one of my highest rated guards from this year's college football season. So I like that pickup there. Then right tackle, Jerry Parnell. Pastor is there as well. Get some setting, but we'll get Parnell, 79 overall. Now looking at the defensive side of the ball, you got Tyson Alualu, who's been, I believe wasn't he a first round pick a couple years ago? Definitely has not lived up to any those expectations whatsoever. Last year, did he even have a sack? He had 2 sacks last year. Struggling to get on the field, but they re-signed him, I believe, this offseason. But we gave him a 74. Right defensive end, Chris Clemons, always a beast, very underrated pass rusher. Loved him in Philly. Last year, got 8 sacks for Jacksonville. He is going to probably only matter of time until he slows down. He is 32, but a big fan. I really like Chris Clemons. Then from the defensive tackle position, we'll first start. They got Jarrett Odrick through free agency. He's always been a productive player for the Miami Dolphins. You can always get at least 5-6 sacks from him from the defensive tackle position. And then the beast, Sen'Derrick Marks, 8.5 sacks last year. Didn't he? I remember he got like a $700,000 sack. He only needed half a sack to hit something in his contract. But I think he's an absolute animal. One of the most underrated defensive tackles in the league. Not really underrated, but just because of the fact that he plays for Jacksonville, not a whole lot of people know about him. But yeah, 88, the highest overall on this roster. Left outside linebacker, terrible fucking news. Dante Fowler from my Florida Gators, 83 overall. I think he's as sure of a thing as any other player from this year's draft class. Went down with that really, really bad. I think he tore his ACL like the first fucking day. That sucks. They got Dan Scooter, though, from the San Francisco 49ers, so he's solid depth. But God, Dante Fowler, man, that sucks. Is it getting worse for Jags fans? Let's be honest. Middle linebacker, Posluszny, 87, like I said. Posluszny's an absolute fucking animal. So I assume he'll bounce back from that injury he had last year and become, the force in the middle of the field that he usually is. Like last year, he only started 7 games, had 2 sacks and like 60, almost 70 tackles. So 10 tackle a game is nothing new for this guy. Right outside linebacker, Telvin Smith, the rookie, last year from Florida State. We gave him an 81. Excellent year last year. Only started 9 games, had 1 interception, 2 sacks, and over 100 tackles. So you're always going to rack up tackles on the Jags until their offensive side of things gets adjusted. But excellent season. As good of a rookie season you can get. Looking at corner, they got DAVON House coming over from the Green Bay Packers. We gave him a 77. Dwayne Gratz, 75. Demetrius McCray, 75. Not a lot of production in this secondary in regards to interceptions, so they definitely got to hope for some pickup there. Free safety, Sergio Brown from Notre Dame, we gave him a 74. Then strong safety, Jonathan Cyprien, a 78. Really, really solid player. 15 starts last year, over 100 total tackles. I only expect him to get a lot better. Then a kicker, like I said, Josh Goby, 87, one of the most solid kickers in the league. And Brian Anger with an 88, usually averages like 48 yards per punt. But there you have it, guys. Those are the Jacksonville Jaguars ratings projected for Madden 16. As always, 30 likes and a new video up soonish. 50 likes, a new video will be up immediately. Comment what you think about these rosters below. Make sure you subscribe to Beast Mode TV, guys. Want 10,000 subscribers before Madden 16. I think we can do it. But yeah, until next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.